Another playoff run, chat. It took a long time to get to this one, obviously. Like, the fine-tuning process has been there to make this team as good as it can possibly be. Before we get into the playoffs, this lineup is staying the same. We do have our depth. I'm a little bit worried about the power play and who is on it. So, let's take a look at that, because we did optimize the power play last year, and it worked out really freaking well. So our top power play unit, Lemieux, we got Bure, we got Whitney. I want Pronger and Zubov on this power play because we have the defense to pull it off. Actually, we don't want Pronger there. Maybe we don't want Zubov either. Iafrate would make some sense. Zubov would make some sense. Pronger does have the passing, though. You know what? No, I do want it this way. So Lemieux, Whitney, Pronger. You got Lemieux as a righty, Whitney as a righty, Zubov as a righty. I mean, Lemieux as the big man in front makes a lot of sense. Let's go Ray Whitney down low. Lemieux there, Bure there. In terms of the strats, the distributor should be Ray Whitney. The finisher needs to be Pavel Bure. The puck carrier can also be Whitney, to be honest. In terms of the face-off set, we obviously want Lemieux there. Get Whitney and Zubov there. Honestly, get Pronger's big ass in front of goal. And get Pavel Bure into a shooting position. That works for me. The second power play is going to be Gretzky, Hull, and Forsberg, because I want that really good second line to be able to step out after the power play so we can just keep the pressure on these teams. Because in theory, right, like in a real-life hockey scenario, you know, once the power play is done, the other team's going to send their best skill line out there. And then that way we have our best defensive line who still has an offensive touch of Elias, Datsuk, and Granato to shut them down. In theory. Not saying that's how this game works. Defensively, we want Iafrate and Jeff Brown. So we got Brown as a righty. Hull as a righty. Gretzky down low. Honestly, we're going to want Forsberg down low to bang in the rebounds. So in terms of the strats, the distributor is going to be Gretzky, the finisher, Brett Hull, puck carrier, Wayne Gretzky. And then face-offs. AJ, we've already done that. Let's see. So we got Hull as a righty. Forsberg's big ass in front. Iafrate there. There we go. That looks good. Could optimize the PK or the 4-on-4, but at the very least, I want the 5-on-5 to be that established. I think that's the best we can make our team. And again, we have such a great amount of depth that we invested in. Our AHL team. Once again, the Calder Cup champions. We won the Calder Cup last year. Only won 39 games this year. They finally started to decline. We'll see what they do in the playoffs, but we are going to focus on the task at hand. It is Sharks versus Kings, the all-California matchup, because the Ducks don't exist in this timeline. Let's take a look at the LA Kings. We could ignore the Coyotes. That's not bad. First impression is that isn't bad. Not as good as what we have. but it's not bad. Luke Robitaille, generated guy Tom Carjulo and Yuri Lettinen. Valerie Bure, both these guys former Sharks in this timeline. Keith Primo and Brendan Shanahan, another former Shark. Yanni Oyanen, not a generated dude. Magnus Gilson, who is generated. And JP Dumont, Jeff Odgers, Alan McCauley, and Adam Deadmarsh, who we had a long time ago. Defensively, Daryl Sador and Reed Corey. Todd Gill, Sheldon Surrey, Kevin Holler, and Peter Popovich. Goaltender, Tim Chevelday, and Mike Richter. No injuries. They got Scott Walker, fuck him, and Sergei Botin. We're better. Obviously, we're better. And we'll see whether or not the whole, well, that's how the game works, even in this fictional version of 2000. We'll see if that ultimately affects us. But we should win this. Absolutely. In terms of our ratings, by the way, Lemieux shows up as our best player. 192 and an 85 to their 93, 85, and an 84. A 100 rated offense. Is this the run? Game 1 against the Kings. We got to take it one game at a time. We still rocking with injuries on. Of course. I'm a glutton for punishment. And a glutton in general. First period. 2-0 Los Angeles. We outshot them 18-8. Second period. 2-1. Pavel Bure on the power play gets us back into it. Third period. Yes. Pavel Datsyuk. Patrick Eliash, the second line, chipping in. Power play for the Kings. Resubbed and nothing popped up. I want attention. Varg, thank you for the penny. We appreciate you. 3-2 Sharks. Late in the game, 3.5 minutes. And San Jose holds on. 4 unanswered goals, 40 shots to 22. It took us a little bit to wake up at the end of the first period, but we did. And it was that second line that we looked to not only shut things down, but contribute some offense. They did just that, and Tim Thomas escapes immediate ejection from the goal. Game number 2. Gonna go right for it here. You play any of the games? No. We do watch games, though, later in the stretch, later in series, but I do not play against the AI. It's playing the game in general is kind of right now, for being honest. First period, 1-0 Kings. Luke Robitaille. A little bit worried about our goaltending. Second period, goal apiece. Carjulo again, but Brett Hull scores on the power play to get us in it. Kings still being really limited in their shots, but they are scoring more often than I'd like to see. They have another power play here. We got to stay out of the box. That might have been a major power play for the Sharks. You got to score here, boys. You didn't. So many power plays. No 5-on-5 hockey. And the Kings hold on. We score just one goal. 2-1 victory for LA on the road in Game 2 as Tim Chevelday shuts the door. Thomas wasn't even particularly poor that game. We just got the one goal, and that was it. So a 1-1 split. The end of the first 2 games. Disappointing, but Timmy Thomas, buddy pal of mine. Not good enough. Dominic Hasek gets the start. This reality, he didn't quite turn into the dominator that nearly led the Sabres to a Stanley Cup. But let's see if he can be that for us now. First period, 2-0 Sharks. Jeff Brown and Mario Lemieux. Second period is goalless. That's fine by me. 17 saves so far. And we started in 92-93. We're now in 2000. Mario Lemieux, Sergei Zubov. Sandish Ozolinsh, our captain. You can only shut this team down for so long. 5-0 Sharks. Make it 6. Brett Hull on Richter. Cheveldae taken out. Lemieux makes it 7. We won a game 11-1 last postseason, and this team is clearly still capable of that. What a performance for Hasek. What a performance for Mario. By God, Lemieux. 5 points with a hat trick. The extra point was good. 7-0, and now a 2-1 series lead for the Sharks. So go best lines in the AHL. We've won enough Calder Cups. It's about the Stanley Cup now. We were so close last year. Hasek's back in. Obviously, right now it would be his crease to lose. It's game number 4. First period. 2-1 Kings. We scored first with Datsuk, but Robitaille and Dumont both in the final minute give LA the lead. Not great from Hasek. Second period, 2-2. Mario Lemieux. So we go to the third, tie game. It's been win-loss, win. Hopefully now another win, but Carjulo scores. Not great. Boys need to find a way to score again. There it is, Tony Granato. Great for us last postseason. He gets on the score sheet. And we're going to overtime here. It's not an elimination game or like a crucial game. So we're going to stay on the menu for this one. It's overtime in game 4. Will it end quickly? Yes, it will. And who else but Wayne frickin' Gretzky, not to be overshadowed by playing on the same team as Mario frickin' Lemieux. Wayne Gretzky gives us a 3-1 series lead. Let's go. Look at Lemieux. He is absolutely crushing it so far. We will go, whoops, to the second round. I hit down to go to edit lines. It didn't go. We win 6-1 and eliminate the LA Kings in 5 games. Hit the down button and nothing happens. It's all good. It's all good. We're moving on, baby. And yeah, Tim Thomas would have started that game as well. But there you go. We're moving on. NHL 24's famously responsive menus strike again. Indeed. Zesty Ham, 25 months. Long-time listener, multiple-time caller. Almost got in a car accident a few hours ago, and I just want to thank you for being one of my comfort cars and creators for nearly a decade. Yeah, Zesty, I'm not crying. That was so wholesome. I am so glad you're safe. As someone who's had a near call before, not because of like my driving or anyone's driving, black ice in New England is fun. Hitting ice that you literally can't fucking see. That shit's fucking scary. I don't know if trying to watch one of my teams win in the playoffs is nice. I don't know if that's calm and relaxing. Although, as I've said for years, if my misery can bring you some joy, let's go then. Let's go. Almost had a possum and got over. Jesus Christ. Well, again, I'm glad you're okay. Jesus. Wait until part 2 where he says he started watching you in grade school. Dude, it is, no kidding, right? It is crazy. Like, I've been around for a lot longer than I realize sometimes. But, for some reason, people still enjoy me seeing my life being ruined by the power of virtual insanity. So, that was a tremendous first round for this team, as you might expect. I mean, we have built a literal all-star team, and it's tremendous. So, if it's smaller than a deer, don't swerve. That's kind of the rule around here, too. People enjoy watching you fail at winning cups. I mean, that they do. Well, let's win this one for Zesty, goddammit. You just got to make a business decision with that opossum. Man, we only had 2 players fail to record a point in that first round. Both goaltenders finishing with pretty strong numbers, I think, because deep down we're all Sadistic bastards. Yeah. Yeah. Zesty, even worse, going through that when you don't have somebody there with you and you just have that what the fuck moment. Yeah. Like I said, glad you're good. And don't worry, we're moving on to round number 2. And I'm so excited. I just can't wait to see how this journey ends for us. We know how this is going to end for us. We know. Round number 2 for both our teams. It's another showdown with the Calgary Flames. We have had quite the playoff history against Calgary. We're obviously not going to change anything about our lines. I'll probably let Tim Thomas start this next game. But let's take a look at Calgary here heading in to the second round. They are still a little bit scary. A little bit. Gary Roberts, Joe Nieuwendyk, and Theo Fleury, Ryan Smolinski, Robert Reichel, and Ted Donato, Jan Hvach, Tom Fitzgerald, and Dave McElwain, Randy Wood, Mike Ridley, and Corey Stillman. The defense, Sean O'Donnell and Al McInnes, now 36, Dmitry Yuskevich and Yves Racine, Amari Bertram, and Sylvain Cote. The goaltender is Felix the Cat Potvin, our former starter. If we started Hasek in the series, it would basically be like our two teams swapped goaltenders from a previous playoff series. Look, it's going to be the case with every goddamn team we play. We are the favorites to win the cup. How could we not be with a team like this, right? We are bound to be the best team. It's just whether or not we get the win, right? That's what it comes down to. This team's insane. It is game number 1 in San Jose. Let's do this. Side trying out the coach mode thing. My GM won't stop trading for and signing defenders. I know with the coach mode idea, a lot of people wanted me to jump into the games more, which I totally understand. You know, my thought was that, like, the GM can get him to the playoffs, then it would be like my talents as a coach down the stretch in crucial situations that would see him through, and like power play and stuff like that. I think there was a way to kind of further evolve the idea. Initially, though, it was like, well, what if I try to do this and then see if the AI is not totally dumb? The AI is still totally dumb, unfortunately. First period of game number 1. Well, we had a similar scare against Los Angeles in round 1, but it's not a very promising tendency of ours. Bertram, Ridley, and Donato make it 3-0 Calgary after 20 minutes. All goals from outside the slot. Second period. Well, there's going to be no comeback effort this time, is there? I'm afraid he got us on the board. McInnes and Roberts both on the power play. Calgary gonna gut punch us in game 1. A shock to the system. Tony Granato gets a goal back. We're down by 3, but we're halfway through the period. Robert Reichel scores, and that's it. 7-2, the final score in game 1. Wow. That is a very, very rough turn of events now, isn't it? Not a great way to start a series. Needless to say, Tim Thomas will not be starting game 2 after that horrific performance absolutely nuked his numbers. Dominik Hasek in against his former club. It is game 2 in San Jose. Let's see if we can make the most of this. First period, 2-0 Sharks. Much better. Datsuk and Travis Green on the power. Travis Green on the power play. Second period. Okay. Florian Roberts offset by Thornton, Whitney, and Lemieux. It's 5-2 Sharks. Injury is what I'm concerned about. If not, we might have to check the 4-on-4 lines. Pavel Bure makes it 6-2. How many consecutive years have we? We haven't played Calgary in like a year or two, but we've played them a lot in the playoffs. Mario makes it 7-2 as we invert the score on the Flames. What a way to start this series for both sides. 7-2 the final score again, as Lemieux, Jeff Brown, and Pavel Bure lead the way, and I think there's no denying Tim Thomas will not be starting the next game. It is Hasek's net until proven otherwise. Now, I did want to point out, because we didn't look at the bracket between series, obviously Detroit over Toronto, St. Louis survived Dallas. St. Louis is now up 2-0 on Detroit after we acquired Brett Hull, their best player. You also have Montreal and technically Quebec, Rangers, and Penguins in round number 2. Again, the reason why it's still Colorado and we didn't do the created team thing is because you can have, again, unsigned players not properly appear when you do a created team, and that really sucks. So that's why it's all the actual NHL teams in the game and not like created versions of them. It just means like Colorado is what it is. Arizona didn't start off as Winnipeg. You get the deal. We need to check those power play lines. We also need, I would say, to just healthy scratch Tim Thomas at this point. We got to find a way to call up Jim Carey. The problem is I don't really want to upset anybody by sending them down. We need an option to set up manual expansion. I completely agree. NBA has it. NBA has it. I would love to see it. Let's send down Zalapsky. Send down Riche as well. And Anaheim was already down. Okay. Well, the AHL just got some reinforcements, that's for sure. At least those guys will be playing hockey. But yeah, I mean, being able to program in when expansions happen and who you, again, NBA, that's what you do in the Eras mode. You have to say, like, oh shit, here come the Vancouver Grizzlies. Who are you going to protect from the expansion draft? That would add so much to this game. My God. That combined, if they're not capable of fully doing eras, it needs to be allow every year for you to download a custom draft class, right? I need to be able to set the years to start technically in 92, 93 in custom league. And I need to be able to say, like, okay, you're about to start the 1998-99 season. Would you like to import custom draft class? Yes. And then Snipe would obviously like provide the 1999 draft class. Bam. You never have to worry about generated dudes. That has to be the next step for custom league. It has to be. Outside, and obviously with roster sharing, we need freaking... we need cross-plat. My hope for College Football 25 is that it does so well with Dynasty being the focus, is that maybe, somehow, some way, they say NHL 26 is the year of franchise mode, and they say, sorry to these people, but we're taking people who work on Hut and shit and letting them help out the franchise people to make this like the best fucking franchise it can be. It'll never fucking happen, but if NHL 26 was the year of franchise, then like NHL 27 could be the year of Hut, because you'd make such a big impact on that game mode that you wouldn't need to do updates for a while. And then you could do the year of Hut, the year of Ishul, the year of Be a Pro. Fuck, please. Instead of like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, quit doing the fucking Salt Bay shit and just dump that motherfucker on one mode. Anyway, game 3 against Calgary. It's a 1-1 series. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. That rant brought to you by... You know what's funny? Is obviously, like, for the YouTube side, I have to mute Spotify that we play. But literally the next song in my playlist is the theme for AEW wrestler Jamie Hayter, which is called Indignation. That rant was brought to you by my indignation. So the song showed up at a perfect time. It is game number 1. It's not. It's game number 3, but it is the first period. I'm mad now. You got me talking about cool things that aren't going to happen. First period. 1-0 Sharks. Jeff Brown. Thank you very much. Second period. Let's go, boys. Jeff Brown again. I didn't check the power play lines, by the way. Sergei Zubov, Peter Forsberg. They got goals from Reichel and Wood, but we are up 4-2. They have just 15 shots, so it's not Dom's, best start, but we are winning. As long as we're winning, I don't really care. We had to see the Colorado Avalanche raise the Stanley Cup on our home ice last year. Patrick Elias makes it 5-2 as we approach 50 shots and hit 50 shots. 2-1, the series lead now for the Sharks. A dominant performance led primarily by the defense, Sergei Zubov and Jeff Brown. Oh, big boy, I know, right? Plus, his team's a fucking bop, man. All right. Also, with the way AEW set it up, she's probably not coming back in time for Wembley, is she? Probably not. That's okay. We're going to go to game number 4 here. We're cooking. We're up 2-1 in this series. Let's see if we can make it a commanding 3-1 lead. First period. 1-0 Sharks. Power play goal for Ray Whitney. Second period. Ooh. Okay. Smolinski, Reichel, and Donato. We got a lone goal from Elias, but the Flames have battled back. We go to game. Period number 3. So many games, so many periods. Other games, other periods. It's 3-3 off of that power play goal for Peter Forsberg. Successful kill. Now the power play for Calgary. Extended power play for Calgary. Jesus Christ, was there a murder? 2.5 to go. Will there be a goal in regulation? No, there will not be. However, again, it's not an elimination game, so we'll sim it. We're up 2-1. Can we make it a 3-1 series lead? We're undefeated in overtime so far this postseason. If it goes to double, we'll jump in, but it's not going to double overtime. For the old heads around, it's the Tuukka Rask spot, as we used to call it back in NHL 17, because he'd always fucking let goals in from that angle. Mario Lemieux is the overtime hero. We are 1 win away from going back to the Western Conference Final for the second time in as many years. We had that one slip-up in Game 1. But we've been rolling ever since. And honestly, St. Louis, who we beat in the conference final last year, they beat Detroit last year. If they beat Detroit again and help us dodge that bullet, even though we took Brett Hull, 1, thank God. 2, that's incredibly scary. But we need to focus on Calgary. It's Game 5. Can we put them to bed and move on to the conference final? First period. Ooh, high scoring. Fleury, Reichel, and Racine for Calgary. Lemieux and Pronger for the Sharks. Second period. That's not good. Theo Fleury. Keep it a minute. It's 4-2 heading into the third. Terrible game for Hasek. 4 goals on 14 shots. Lemieux strikes twice. We are tied. Lemieux! Pavel Bure getting involved. Holy shit. The San Jose Sharks. We built an all-star team, to say the least. We are going back to the Western Conference Final as Zubov caps it off with an empty netter. 8-5, your final score. We scored 6 in the third period. I don't know if you guys know this, but Mario Lemieux is pretty good. Jesus Christ. And it will be the St. Louis Blues again. And we took Brett Hull away from them. If we lose this upcoming series, it might be the worst playoff loss we've ever had. Look at this team, though. Lemieux, Bure, Whitney is unfair. We have Forsberg on the third line, man. And honestly, Forsberg, Hull, and Gretzky are all minus players on the third line. The depth scoring hasn't been as impressive as it was last year in the cup run that fell short. Although Chris Pronger is hooking. He and Jeff Brown, man. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hasek, still not amazing, but good enough. It will still be the dominator that we trust. It's the St. Louis Blues in the Western Conference Finals. Our AHL team is also moving on to the conference finals for God knows how many times now at this point. In the conference finals, it is St. Louis, San Jose, Montreal, and New York. No surprise to see those two teams there. Colorado is out. But again, Montreal and New York, two teams in the top four. The New York Rangers were the best team in the league. So this will be very interesting. Obviously, to win the cup, you have to go through a killer, but Detroit was the second best team in the league. And now, they're out at the hands of the St. Louis Blues, which is absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane. And we need to see what they look like heading into this, because we're not changing anything about the lines. Why would we? Right? I mean, this team's only lost 2 games so far this postseason. Same amount of games it took us to get to the conference finals last time, and then we swept St. Louis. And again, we took Brett Hull away from them. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, man. Wow. Let's look at the Blues. Let's look at the Blues. This might be the worst team I've ever seen make it to a conference final. How this team knocked out Yzerman, Fedorov, and the Red Wings, Lidstrom as well, I'll never know. Paul Seibert, the Seibert, Craig Janney, and Nelson Emerson, Rich Sutter, Kevin Miller, and Sean Burr, Steve Konowalchuk, Wes Walls, and Mark Parrish, Jamal Walters, Darby Hendrickson, and Tim Sweeney. We are going to go look at their point totals as a whole after we look at this. Defensively, he lost his gold, Zdeno Chara and Robert Svela, Jeff Bukaboom and Darian Hatcher, Paul Cavallini, and Dallas Aubrey. That is a very physical defense. The goaltender, Curtis Joseph, who we lit up last year. But who knows? He might be on the great, great run. Like, they have a very physical, hearty team, is the best way to describe them. What do their numbers look like? It's the second year in a row we've met the Blues in the conference final. Sean Burr is their leading point. It's been by committee. There isn't one guy that's leading the way for them. It has been scoring by committee. Defensively, Svela Cavallini. Char only has 2 points, but he's been healthy. That's the difference right there. It's been Cujo. Can their defensive, physical style with great goaltending withstand the onslaught that the Sharks can provide? Game 1 of the conference final. Who's it going to be? Will the Blues get the most embarrassing of revenge on the Sharks? Or are we going back to the Cup final for the second year in a row. First period of game 1. 3-0 Sharks. What a way to start. Power play goals. Gretzky, Hull, and an even strength tally from Sergei Zubov. Second period, 4-1. Pavel Bure, offset by Walters, 20 minutes away from taking game 1. Mario Lemieux makes it 5-1. This could be another quick series. If St. Louis can't get it together, they have to stay out of the box. Again, our power play, it doesn't feel as deadly as last year's, but it's still something. 5-1, the final score. San Jose takes game 1. A phenomenal performance from Dominik Hasek and the third-line veterans Brett Hull and Wayne Gretzky. What a way to start. Lemieux still over a goal a game. Game 2. No lineup changes, obviously. We're just running it. First period. 3-1 Blues. Okay. We started off strong with Jeff Brown, but it's Burr, Chara, and Robert Svela. So 2 defensive goals. Bad start for us. Let's see if we can overcome it. Second period. Barnaby scores, but it's Nelson Emerson and Aubrey. Might be a different year for the Blues. They got swept last year. They don't have Brett Hull. But they are leading in this game and trying to beat us in the conference final. For the first time, we've won 5 straight games against them in this scenario. But it's not going to be 6. The St. Louis Blues are going to shut things down. Darian Hatcher, empty netter, technically shorthanded. And the Blues take game 2 by the score of 6-2. Curtis Joseph getting it done in a great game for Craig Janney. Okay. Knocked back down to reality a little bit there, fellas. This team isn't going to roll over and die this year. They knocked out Detroit again. Let's see. Game number 3. No changes to our lineup. First period. 2-1 Blues. Emerson on the power play and shorthanded. Ray Whitney scored for us. I'm starting to get a bit worried. Second period. That helps. Brett Hull against his former team. And we go to the third. Pavel Bure makes it 3-2. Power play. No dice. Can we hold on? Power play for the Blues. Not ideal. Ray Whitney gets his second of the game. We're going to bounce back. We're going to bounce back and get this win. Endo, I know Fox isn't around. I haven't heard from too many others. You can always put it out in the group chat and see what people think, but it would be another late start. 5-2 the final score. The Sharks now 2 wins away from making it to the Cup Final as the top line delivers. Whitney and Bure in particular. Overcame a slow start that time. Well, he's not our top line center this year. That's one positive. But we have lost Wayne Gretzky for a little bit. It's not long. Should we make the Cup Final, he'll be back. Should the series go late, he would be back. But it does suck to see Wayne get hurt. That is also going to change our power play situation. In terms of who is getting the call-up, it's going to be Chris Drury, who isn't going to hit what his potential could have been once upon a time. But Chris Drury will play between future teammate in Colorado, Peter Forsberg, and Brett Hull. We actually get a +4 on that line, so that's not too bad. It is going to make me change the power play lines for no reason, even though it didn't. It's actually fine. This freaking game sometimes, man. 3 steps behind its own ass. All right, we're up 2-1. We're close. 2 more wins. We know how far away 2 more wins happen to be, though, after last year's Cup Final. Game first period, 2-2. Connor Walchuk and Hendrickson for the Blues. Travis Green and a power play tally for Peter Forsberg ties the game. Second period. Not a great time for Dominik Hasek to forget how to stop a puck. Wouldn't Jean at left wing, Forsberg at center be a better lineup? Probably. But I wanted to give Drury a chance. (7-4) entering the third period. And barring a miracle, the Blues are going to tie this series at 2 apiece. Lemieux scores on the power play. We're going to do this. We need another quick goal here. It's going to be too little too late, even if we score now. The Western Conference Final is tied at 2 games apiece. That is incredibly unfortunate. The Eastern Conference Final is also tied. Milan Hajduk is healthy. This doesn't feel great, if we're being honest. Drury wasn't exactly... I mean, he was literally inoffensive. Yeah, Jelen is another power forward. We didn't want to mix that. He's the man who led us to the Cup Final last year, and within 2 wins of winning it all. The net detective starts Game 5. Hull throwing for his former team. Class act. First period. 1-0 Blues. Cavallini. Second... Dude, we outshot them 18-5. Second period. Yes, the levee breaks. Cujo could only hold on for so long, and he's out of the game. Travis Green... 2 power play goals for Brett Hull, beating the accusations. And Chris Pronger, 31 shots to 10, 4-1 entering the third period. Blues with a strong start shot-wise. Emerson gets another. It's 4-2. Power play for the Blues, no goal. Power play for the Sharks, no goal. 4 minutes left. The San Jose Sharks are 1 win away from going back to the Cup Final. 5-2, the final score in Game 5. What a performance for Brett Hull. A basket of apples for Peter Forsberg. 1 win away, as are the Montreal Canadiens. It's got to be Carey in Game 6, and if it goes 7, we'll have to have a conversation. But the net detective, 909 save percentage, stopped 20 of 22. He's back. The other Quebec team this year. Yeah. Game 6. Can we close it out? First period. 2-1 Sharks. Walters started off the scoring for the Blues, but it's Brown, and with 2 seconds left, Peter Forsberg, we outshot them 15-4. Again, they're playing that defensive, physical shutdown style and relying on Cujo, but there's only so many pucks you could stop. Second period, 4-2. Teppo Newman, and dude, Travis Green has been awesome. Cavallini gets one back. 20 minutes away. Are we going back to the final? 5 minutes down. Mario Lemieux. 10 minutes down. The San Jose Sharks are going back to the final. The Blues put up more of a fight this year, but it wasn't enough. They gave Walters first star. Who cares? We are moving on as Montreal and New York go to Game 7. Wayne Gretzky will be healthy for the final. Our AHL team is playing New York's AHL team for the Calder Cup. Will it be Sharks and Rangers or Sharks and Habs? The answer: it's a double. Both NHL and AHL championships being decided between the same two franchises. We take on the NHL's best in the final 2 years in a row. We couldn't beat Colorado last year. Can we beat the Rangers this year? It's a tall task. Wow. We've made it back, though. New and improved. We've made it back. What a run it has been for this team yet again. Lemieux and Bure, the exact combination we dreamed of, but Bure's turned into more of a playmaker, being alongside Mario Lemieux, who has been insane. Whitney as well, you can't discount him. The third line, represented by Hull and Forsberg. Gretz was certainly up there. You got the second line of Datsuk, Elias, Granado. Not quite playing the defense that I was hoping to see them play. Travis Green's been hot recently. Chris Drury didn't do much, but also wasn't a negative, so it'll be good to have Gretz back. Jeff Brown's been awesome. What a pickup he was. The decision to keep him. Zubov and Pronger are great together. I mean, if Teppo Newman is our worst defenseman through 16 games, that's pretty damn good. In goal. Who do you trust? Who do you trust? It's clear it'll be Hasek or Carey. It might be the net detective redemption story. First and foremost, though, we do need to put Gretz back in. And we will send Chris Drury down to let him take part in that Calder Cup run. Freaking Jelena and Richer being a part of it are fucking hilarious. Wow. 2 years in a row in the final. This team's been awesome. Best lines, Drury, Jelena, Richer is insane. That's an NHL caliber line. I think we have to give Carey the chance, man. Like, Hasek hasn't been that good. And the story of the net detective getting it done would be insane. However, there was a story about should you have kept Martin Brodeur. We wouldn't have had Mario Lemieux if we did. But if we had kept Brodeur and made it here, it would have been a battle of two of the best goaltenders of all time. And it still could be because of Hasek. It would have been Brodeur versus Waugh. Instead, it could be Hasek versus Waugh, although we are going to go with Jim Carey. Two former Sharks goalies. Of course, we traded Waugh to the Rangers. He's been inconsistent since then, but he's been really good in the playoffs. 35-year-old Patrick Waugh stands in our way. The offense. Shit. Graves, Turcotte, Amani, Ulf Dahlin, Eddie O, and Alexei Kovalev, Zelapukin, Yoensu, and Steve Thomas, Brent Gilchrist, Mike Gartner, and Steve Larmer. It's a good team. The defense, Brian Leach and Rob Blake. Last year, we regretted a couple of trades involving former Sharks going to Colorado, who we lost to, and this year we might just regret former Sharks being sent to the team that we're playing. Rob Blake is there. Adam Foote, who beat us last year when he was with Colorado, is with Don Sweeney, Vladimir Malakoff, and Igor Kravchuk. I can see why they won that many games. They also have Glenn Hawgood and Murray Craven. I can't guarantee we're going to win this. I wish I could. This is a battle of the Titans in terms of the grades. 192 and 84 versus 99, 91, and 87. These two teams are absolutely outrageous. It's the Stanley Cup Final for the Sharks. We started off 2-0 last year and then lost 4 straight. Game 1 against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Here we go. First period. Kovalev, Amani, Graves. A shorthanded goal for Eliash, but it's 3-1 New York. Second period. This series, and yes, I know Hasek is in, this series could be absolutely legendary. Hull, Lemieux, Iafrate, and Mario again. A Don Sweeney shorthanded goal for the Rangers' fourth. It is 5-4. Heading into the third period. Goaltenders not needed. You might as well put shooter tutors. Jeff Brown, 6-4, Sharks. 7-4, Sharks. Peter Forsberg. Oh, baby, what a comeback after that first period. San Jose steals game 1 on the road. 7-4. Your final score. Hull and Lemieux leading the way. Jesus. You know, of all the injuries, it could have been worse. But of course, there was going to be an injury. Tony Granato goes down. Sexually. Obviously, I don't quite have the player type on the team that fits the bill. Like, I do have Paul Ranheim playing on the off wing. Like I said, I'm trying to stay within this game's very stupid guidelines. Listening to all the information they give us. I am going to do something very dumb. But it just might work. We're going with the enforcer, baby. Mr. Churla. Gonna force the other team to curl up. Shane's in. And we're gonna swap the second line with the third line. So Forsberg, Gretzky, Huller up, Eliash, Datsuk, Hurla. And then Thornton, Green, Barnaby. Technically, Barnaby would fit in better on that second or that third line, so let's do that. The enforcer is in. We're ready to throw fists, baby. We're gonna throw fists. Who gets inducted into the Channel Hall of Fame for this series? My vote goes to Travis Green. Sandish Ozelinsh. That's who. Dominic Hasek is going to get the start from here. All right, so we do lose Tony Granato to injury, but we are up 1-0. It is game number 2 at MSG. Let's see how it goes. First period. Second game in a row. It's 3-1 Rangers at the end of one. Dahlin, Kovalev, and Joensuu. Pavel Bure. It's us a goal, but we're down 3-1. Second period. No massive comeback this time. It was Don Turcotte, wasn't it? And Alex Kovalev. It's 5-1 Rangers. Maybe it's a good thing we're not going to win both games to start the series. Hasek gets destroyed in New York. Ozelin and Brown trying to will us into a comeback here, but we are running low on time. Iafrate, that's 3 goals by defenseman Rob Blake seals the deal. 7-5, the final score. In Game 2, the Rangers tied this series up at 1 win apiece. Eddie Olczyk, former Conn Smythe winner in this timeline, with the Rangers no less, was the first star. That was a whooping. That was a whooping. I am intrigued how often the fourth line happened to be on the ice in that game. I am intrigued. So, no minuses, but did take 2 penalties. We can't be having that. We cannot be having that, sir. Sucks. I want someone defensively responsible. I'm going to be stubborn about this. Give me Zarley Zalapski. That's a defensive player, right? Zarley, come on down. Let's see if I can 4D chess this game. I mean, it's a defensive player, right? Actually, Granato. Is Granato ready? Granato is healthy enough to play. I don't know if he will, though. Zalapski works on that line, which is hilarious. It all depends on whether or not Tony Granato is healthy for Game 3. And he won't be. I mean, he's good enough to play, but he'll get injured again. So Zarley Zalapski will be on the third line. I'm all right with that. Okay. It's Game 3 in San Jose. Last time we played in the Stanley Cup Final on this ice, we got pumped by Colorado. Here we go. I left Hasek in. We're giving him one more chance. Maybe I shouldn't have, but it is what it is. First period. 2-1 Rangers. Another slow start for us. Kovalev with 2 goals. Brett Hall scores for us. Second period. Oh my God, we can't get goaltending in the final. 3-1 Rangers. Brian Leetch. Gretzky gets one back. Pronger on the power play. Big turnaround for the Sharks. It's 3-all. We gotta find a way to stop pucks in the first period, man. It's killing us. It's absolutely killing us. We're getting down to the wire. It's basically next goal wins. It's time to jump in and see how it plays out. Rangers and Sharks. Oh, man. Okay. Well, for the Rangers unis, there's pretty much no flashback to go to, of course. But now that we are in the lovely year of 2000, technically we're a year away from getting the other one, and white at home was still the trend. There we go. That works. That works. Next goal wins. Give them the Bibberty. Did they wear the Bibberty that year? They did win the Bibberty that year. We can give them the Bibberty. The old Liberty Bibberty. Put them in the reverse retro. There you go. We'll give them the Bibberty. Game 3. Tied at 3. A 1-1 series split. And it is pretty much next goal wins.
We are all tied up at 3 in this one here
Face-off one for the Rangers. Don Sweeney over the line. Eddie Olczyk. Big save by Hasek. Foot. Can't hold it into the attacking zone. Do we go for... We got to go for it again. We got to do it. We have the team. We have the offense. Ray Whitney. Up to Pavel Bure. Bure can't find a pass.
And the puck is scooped up here into the open ice by Turcotte.
Intercepted by Lemieux. Turned right back to Turcotte. Trouble. And Hasek covers.
Well, he's slowing things down because his team has been under siege, James. It's the third period. It's a tight
defensively, let's turtle up a little bit. Big time face off here for Lemieux in the defensive zone. Wins it to Zubov. Now Bure to Whitney. Nowhere to go. Finds a bit of space. Now the point. In front for Lemieux and a big save by Wah. Lake to Leach. Whitney gets the pick off. Held up. Pronger's there. Whitney now in open space. Finds Lemieux. Bure misses wide. Back to the point. Now Pronger. Fending off a hit. Lemieux to Bure. Big save by Wah. To the point. Great movement here. Leach the crucial interception. Tony Amani. Now this is where a great goalie could shine, is in the actual gameplay. Oh, survives. Wayne Gretzky to Forsberg. Saved by Wah. I'm not surprised Gretzky passed it. Leach to Olczyk. Poked away. Forsberg. 50 seconds left. Zubov. Zubov looking. Saved by Wah. Took that one up high. What a good effort by that lower line. Datsuk, Eliash, and defenseman Zarli Zalapsky are out. Face-offs. We've done much better than we did against Colorado last year. We win another one. Datsuk to Brown. Shot and a glove save by Wah. What a frickin' save on a shot by Iafrate. Battle in the corner. Kovalev bumped off. Here's Datsuk. Pavel Datsuk elects to dump it in. 17 seconds left in regulation. Sweeney held up. Kicks to Eddie O. One more chance for the Rangers. Adam Graves into the attacking zone. Has a trailer. Goes around the back. What a play between him and Amani. Graves one more chance. That was an unreal play by Adam Graves and Tony Amani. We are going to overtime.
Because we're going to sudden death overtime in moments.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The stats are close. The game is tied. I sent my fourth line out there early. Old strategy, Cotton. But we'll see if it works. And it was totally accidental. But I do trust this fourth line. They've been really good for us in the past. Barnaby to Brown. Brown dumps it in. The line change in there now. Their top line's going to be a little bit more tired. Amani. Over the line. Poked away by Pronger. Zubov finds Whitney. Pronger to Bure. Lemieux looking for space. Blake takes the hit. Lemieux continues to fight. Blake comes up with it again. Over to Leach. What a pairing that would have been. My God. Turcotte dumps it in. Pronger held up. As the help penalty called on the Rangers, it's going to be for a hold. Bure to Whitney. Whitney to Bure. He scores! The Sharks take game 3 in overtime. Pavel Bure is the hero. On a delayed call, Pavel Bure seals the deal.
Man, James, he's the benefactor of a great passing.
Top shelf far side on Wah.
On his stick. But then he's got to do something with it, right? He's got-
Nothing he could do about that. Picture perfect. Pavel Bure, the hero, for the second time in as many years in the Stanley Cup Final, the Sharks are 2 wins away from winning the Cup. What an effort by Whitney. Stays strong on the puck. They catch Wah leaning. 40th shot of the game for the Sharks. And they get it done. Again, there was going to be a hold back on Adam Graves. Down the other way. Pronger was able to kick the puck out. Get it to Zubov. And then it was Bure here. Cuts back. Bides time while Zubov pinches. Finds Whitney. Has the speed. Avoids pressure from Leach. Leach went for the hit. Not necessarily his game. And the feed. Look at that. Look how close it was. The back check from Tony Amani. But Bure gets it. Holds on. No man's land for Blake because he has to be wary of Lemieux, and it's honestly shocking it wasn't a backdoor pass to Lemieux, but Bure just rips it. Horrific animation for Wah, but that is this game sometimes, as instead of just keeping his glove up, he continues to drop it all the way behind his leg before boop, and missing, because he started from nearly his own asshole. I'll take it. Pavel Bure seals the deal. SJ Sharkey is pumped. Patrick Wah. That actually looks pretty good. For a custom face on Wah. Fair play snipe. That looks good. To be fair, it's a very Patrick Wah thing to do. You're not wrong. I can't defend his Statue of Liberty, of course. It's funny, of course, he ends up on the Rangers. We are up 2-1. Can we get revenge for last year? It is game number 4. Hasek's gonna stay. I don't know who should start this next game, man. I don't know. I gotta be honest. Granato's still not 100%. Hasek has a 900. Carey has a sub 900, but a lower GAA. Actually, let's go to outright playoff stats, because that might be mixing in Calder Cup Final stats, or Calder Cup playoff stats as well. What do we got here? Dude, Bure and Lemieux going neck and neck for the Conn Smythe if we win this. It's Dominik Hasek. Sure is. That is Hasek's crease. And Tim Thomas is going to get to be the backup. Jim Carey had that one run to get us to the final last year, but since then, man fell off a cliff. Welcome back, Tim Thomas as the backup. Game 4, June 1st of 2000. Here we go. First period. 1-1. Malakoff, and a power play goal for Brett Hull. Power play continues to stay hot. Second period. Zelepukin, Kovalev, and Malakoff again. Zalapsky scores for us, but we're down by 2. Heading into the third period. Brett Hull on the power play again. We're down by 1. Jeff Brown on the power play. Al Iafrate on the power play. Kovalev makes it 5-5. Six, 5, Mario Lemieux on Cristobal Huet. The San Jose Sharks are 1 win away from their first Cup Final in franchise history, thanks to a 4-goal third period. Hull, Iafrate, and a 4-assist night for Wayne Gretzky. It's a 3-1 series lead. Tony Granato will be healthy. No disrespect to Zarley Zalapski, but we are going to go with Granato. Can't give up more. Honestly, there is a legitimate argument to start Tim Thomas in this next game because Hasek has not been great in the final. Tim Thomas. It's Game 5 at Madison Square Garden. And you get the start. Will the Sharks win the cup? Is this the run? After a heartbreaking end to last year's season. First period. 2-0 Sharks. Zubov and Gretzky. 19 shots to 5. Obviously, we're not going to be surprised if they won. They're not underdogs. It's just going to be good to have won the damn cup. Second period. 2 goals apiece. Turcotte and Leach, Pronger and Lemieux. The Sharks are 20 minutes away. And they do it. And they do it. Extended power play, no goals. Rangers get 1, no goal. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The San Jose Sharks are going to win the Stanley Cup. It was our year. It was the run. We had to put together one of the most ridiculous teams that we have ever put together. One of the most stacked teams that you'll ever see. We did what we had to do to get the win. Damn it. We did what we had to do. It might not be the most feel-good cup. Hardly underdogs. But they're going to get it done. Nearly picked off there at the last second. We got to get this team to be defensive. Amani saved by Thomas. Amani again, another save by Tim Thomas.
Man, is he ever quick on his feet, anticipating the play. Excellent reflex.
Intercepted by Hull. He's gassed. Could be his final game. Travis Green on the ice, dumps it in. 8 seconds away. The San Jose Sharks have done it. Stanley Cup champions in the year 2000.
Stanley Cup champions, all those years of going to those.
I'll be honest, it's really, really nice to bring this image to fruition. Really, really nice. It doesn't feel as good as some of our other championship teams. Because again, we just said, fuck it. I treated this like an FHM historical challenge. Wheeled and dealed and built the most overpowered fucking team you can build. But at the end of the day, they still had to win. And they have, as Pavel Bure ekes out Mario Lemieux for the cup. And there it is. And there it is. The Sharks were technically betting underdogs to the Rangers in this run. Sandish Ozelinsh. Maybe. It's going to be reset my captains. Pavel Bure gets the cup first. It was supposed to be Sandish. But it goes to Pavel Bure. I'm all right with it. Pavel Bure is a Stanley Cup champion. Give that cup to Sandish. I didn't even notice he didn't have a captaincy on, but that's fine. Sandish Ozolinsh, Stanley Cup champion with the Sharks. It's a beautiful thing. Also, we should totally go back to home team. Good guys, you know, we're white. You know who it's got to be next. Timmy fucking Thomas. Let's go, Tim. 11 years early.
It is when you come in.
Way to go, Timmy.
And you're a rookie goaltender.
Way to go.
Your confidence and you play well, you embrace the pressure, and now you're a Stanley Cup champion, James.
And last but not least, it's going to Mario Lemieux. We do not win this cup without the accusation, without beating the accusations of Brett Hull, but without the acquisition of Mario Lemieux. It would have gone to Gretzky, but it didn't give me the option.
What he did, he led his team, and now he gets to hoist the cup.
They got it done. Like I said, it wasn't the most drawn out of process. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Eventually, though, building around a lot of the younger guys, it just got into silly season. And we said, screw it, we got to win a cup. We did what we had to do, damn it. We did what we had to do. It's not going to be the most fondly remembered cup, but it is a Stanley Cup. I hope Sin is proud. Now what until NCAA? That's a really fucking good question. We will see. I am not taking suggestions. I'll tell you that right now. I am not taking suggestions. But we'll figure that out, because it is a very awkward amount of time. Now rebuild Ottawa, right? The other team that absolutely sucked. 50 shots to 22. 6 power plays in that game. We only scored once, but that was fantastic. That was fantastic. Will we pull off the double? The Calder Cup is also going to Game 7. We're not also going to, but it is going to Game 7. Can we end this on a double? Down 2-0. No, we cannot. The Rangers get their revenge and win the Calder Cup in 7 games. I would gladly trade all of our Calder Cups for that Stanley Cup, though. So, a double would have been nice. Well, now we gotta keep playing because we didn't pull off the double. We went through Los Angeles in 5, Calgary in 5, St. Louis in 6, and the Rangers in 5. Somehow, St. Louis gave us the most trouble there. I don't understand. But there it is. There it is. There it is. In terms of the individual awards, Brett Hull did win the Art Ross. Of course, he did most of the damage as a part of the Blues. Vinny Damphousse won the Hart Trophy for Montreal. Brian Leach, 3 straight Norris trophies. Brett Hull won the Bing. The Calder did go to Mark Savard. Conn Smythe, as we saw, to Pavel Bure. Patrick Waugh had won the Vezina. Did not matter. Selke to Saku Koivu. Vinny Damphousse, the Ted Lindsay, and Brett Hull won the Rocket Richard. In the AHL, Alexander Daig scored the most points. Dude, they had Esa Tikkanen, too, as the MVP. Jesus Christ. That's Patrick Weller, the most goals. League MVP, or top rookie. Top defenseman was Mark Streit. Top goalie, Dan Cloutier. And the MVP of the playoffs was Alexander Daig. I mean, how can you compete with that? But the Kansas City Blades, what was it? 4 or 5 Calder Cups. Absolutely insane. But we do get our championship with the Sharks. And the question is, who's leaving? Who is leaving? Gretzky stayed, dude. Gretzky didn't retire. Messier did. God damn, dude. Really? Al McInnes is gone. Paul Coffey. Dude, I cannot believe Wayne Gretzky didn't retire. That's insane. One more run Wayne Gretzky edition? Maybe? Who's to say? probably it for the Sharks. We got our cup. It's good. We march on to a new challenge. Unless I change my mind, but we probably march on to a new challenge.